Welcome to day two. And I want to help you understand today exactly how your pain can become stuck. And more importantly, why this gives us so much hope. So picture this. This is a very similar scenario from yesterday. You're rushing through the house, trying to get everyone ready for the day. The kids can find their shoes, the dog needs to go out, your phone is buzzing with the work emails, and you're already running late. You bend down to grab that lunchbox, and there it is, that familiar lightning bolt through your back, hands, neck, shoulders. Now, here's what most of us think happened. I bent wrong. I'm getting older. My back is weak. But what if I told you something completely different is happening? And I want to talk about our brain being an amazing pattern detector. So listen up. Your brain is constantly looking for patterns to keep you safe. It's like having the most protective mother-in-law, but living inside your head. Every time you experience pain, your brain takes detailed note. What was happening when the pain started? What emotions were you feeling? What were you thinking about? What was your stress level? And your brain then files all that information away, thinking, if this combination happens again, I better sound that alarm early next time to keep her safe. So let's say you first time, when the pain started, you were overwhelmed, exhausted, feeling like you couldn't keep up with everything. Your brain meant that mental note, that post-it note, overwhelmed plus rushing plus bending leads to danger. And it means danger. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed, you bend over, your brain remembers that post-it note, that mental note, that patterns and thinks, oh no, I've seen this before. I've seen this movie before, and sends the pain signal. Even if your body is totally perfectly fine, even if your back is okay, there's nothing happening with it. So it's almost like having that smoke detector that goes off every time you make a toast, even though there's no actual fire. So this understanding really changes everything, because what we know is, from neuroplasticity, if your brain learned this pattern, it can unlearn it too. So your pain isn't, happening because you're broken or damaged. It's happening because your brain got really good at pattern that's no longer serving you. So think about it the first time you've learned to drive. You think, you had to think about everything, check the mirror, signals, brake. And then now if you're driving home, um, sometimes you probably barely remember the trip because your brain automated those patterns. It automated the process. So your pain patterns got automated too. But just like you could learn to drive differently if you needed to, you can teach your brain new patterns around pain, sorry. So you can teach your brain new patterns around pain. And I see this so clearly in the woman that I work with. Your brain has learned those certain feelings, associated those certain feelings and situations with danger. So when we feel overwhelmed, our pain signals activate. When, we're not being able to do everything perfectly, we, eat that spikes up that danger, that pain signal gets activated. When we don't put yourself first, again, the same things happen. And when we say no to others, the same things happen. Those pain signals activated. So your brain is trying to protect you from emotional overwhelm by creating physical pain. It's backwards, but it makes sense when you understand that sometimes your brain get its wires crossed. So again, I want to share a little bit of my own overwhelm story. I remember the week that my pain really took hold. My daughter had, a lot of different activities. Work was super intense. The house was disaster. My husband was on a camping trip. And I was trying to do everything, you know, running from every single thing, the kids' activities, the work with the deadlines, kids getting sick at the same time, and a husband who's away. And it felt like that cycle, like that week was a very intense week. So when my back pain hit, I thought, great, now I can't even function. But looking back, I realized my brain was just screaming, stop. This pain is not sustainable. You need help. So the pain was my brain's way of forcing me to slow down when I wouldn't listen to like a gentler signals like fatigue or stress. So our brain develops, these pain patterns because it loves us. Your brain loves you. It saw you overwhelmed and exhausted, and it thought, I need to protect her from this overwhelming feeling. I know I can create pain, so she has to rest. Like our brain does this amazing job of protecting us. It almost like overzealous. It almost like if we were to mark it or give it a grade, it would get A, or A plus. So here's what your brain though doesn't realize. The pain created even more overwhelm and stress. Now you're not only dealing with everything you've been dealing before, but you're also scared, frustrated, and feeling really guilty about the pain. So your brain was trying to help. That protective pattern was there because in the past probably helped you, but it accidentally made things harder. So today, I want you to start just noticing the patterns around your pain without judgment. And you can do this by asking yourself, what was the feeling, emotion you right before my pain started or got worse? What was happening in my life? What thoughts was I having? And don't try to fix anything, just notice. You're becoming a detective, just gathering information and data about your unique pain patterns. And some things that I want you to remember from, our session here today is your brain learned your pain patterns, which means it can learn them too. Pain often shows up during overwhelm. Your brain is trying to protect you. It's just not very effective right now. You're not broken or weak. You have a very protective brain that needs new information, and patterns can be changed, just like any other learned behavior. And I'd like you to come back to this lesson whenever you can, whenever you feel frustrated that your pain doesn't make sense. When you start believing that your pain means something is seriously wrong, I want you, when you need a reminder about understanding why pain happens during stress, or when you need a reminder that your brain is actually trying to help you. Your pain has a story, and you're starting to understand that story. This understanding is the first step towards writing a new ending, one where you feel safe, supported, and free to live your life fully. And I have a gentle reminder for you. Some days the patterns will be obvious, other days they won't be. And this is totally normal. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new way of thinking about the pain. And I thank you so much for joining today. Tomorrow is day 3, and I want to offer this to you. Although I'm posting each video as a daily lesson, don't run through it. If you feel you need to take a little bit more time on one lesson, do it. Do it at the pace that works for you. Do it at the pace that feels good to you. That's where we can regulate, where we can send this safety to our brain, to our nervous system. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And please post any questions you have. I'll be checking out all the comments and I'll respond to them. See you tomorrow.